Alright, so, man, everybody, as you know, I talk a lot, I post a lot, I type a lot, and I'm really trying to do all I can to try and reach out to anybody who's kind of in the same spot that I am, or, wonders about life and wonders about their existence and reality and their happiness and their health and family, friends, co-workers, their job, spirituality, God, death, life. And man, I just always want to talk, and if I don't have somebody to speak to, I figured this is a pretty good outlet, so I figured there was a couple things I should talk about, and I'm kind of just going to ramble and hope that it goes somewhere, in hopes that maybe it could inspire somebody or help somebody. Where do I begin? Well, for me, back in probably 2005-ish, one of the first books I read that really had me thinking about life was a book, I believe, by a guy named Kevin Trudeau called Secrets They Don't Want You to Know About, or Natural Cures They Don't Want You to Know About, something like that. I saw it on an infomercial, and I was like, hey, what is this? So basically, it talked about the government suppression of information and how pharmaceutical drugs are killing everyone and they don't tell you, and how it's all a big scam to keep this circle going around and around of let's make them sick, and then they'll come back to us for cures, and we'll not cure it, but we'll make them sicker, and they'll have to keep going around and around and around and spending money. And that was the first moment in my life I really felt like, oh shit, well, what the fuck is this? And that was the first time in my life I was really like, fuck, like I felt like OCD about life, you know what I mean? Like I was really, really impatient, and I was like, oh my god, I've got to change my deodorant because they say, I got to tell my girlfriend to change her deodorant because they say deodorant causes breast cancer, and I've got to start eating organic and using natural toothpaste and natural products and cleaning my house with natural chemicals and using vinegar or some shit like that, because oh shit, we're dying and we don't even know it. After a few years, that kind of faded away, and I started rapping and kind of, got into that lifestyle of drinking and rapping and, smoking a lot of weed and shit, and I kind of got away from that thought process of, what's going on. After rapping for a good couple years, we could say, for the sake of me not having any other real words to express it, that I had a point of awakening, or as Christians will call it, and for that moment itself, I had a salvation. I was saved, right? So for me, I did what most people did, and I went to Christianity because it's all that I knew. It's all that I knew, and I thought that that's all that there was, like most people do, because naturally people don't understand. You really just go to the religion that you were raised around and that you grew up in most of the time. So that's what I did. Went into Christianity, really jumped in, worked in the church, wanted to start a youth ministry, was a member of the church, blah, blah, blah. Read Christian poetry at the church, started making Christian music, made a Christian CD, DVD, blah, blah, blah. Studied the shit out of Christianity, and I was definitely a Bible banger. I really had to apologize publicly to people because I really became pretty self-righteous, and I think it naturally kind of leads you in that direction, because there's a lot of the saved versus the sinners, and so I felt like, oh, I'm one of the saved ones, and these fucking people in DDD and their lives and how they're living, and they're such a problem, DDD, and they're the enemy. And I started studying the shit out of religion. Basically, the way I like to say it is, I studied myself out of Christianity and religion, because I think most people, as I have learned, the majority of people really go into Christianity and don't ever really study the history of Christianity. They don't study how it started, where it went, what it did, how it worked. Is it true? Are there other books? Uh, the foundation of how it was built. And after I really started studying the foundation of it and really seeing the effect it had on me and the world in itself and the pain it was causing behind all this love talk, I really was like, woke up one day like, what the fuck did I do? I didn't like myself because it really kind of teaches you this, like, you're a sinner at heart type of thing, and you can't be yourself because yourself is the sinner, so you have to do what Jesus asks you to do, because salvation is sacrifice to God and Jesus, and so you do what he says, not what you want to do, and give up your life, and blah blah blah. So uh, that's what I did, and it made me a fucking depressed asshole, and I got out. And when I got out, I had thought to myself, okay, well, because most people, they don't want to leave Christianity because they have that fear of, oh no, I'm gonna burn in hell if I don't follow this anymore. Fuck, then Jesus isn't gonna back me up, and I'm gonna die. So I thought to myself, well, I know there's something to life, existence, reality. And I had a job. I felt I had an obligation, if you will, to search that out and to find out what it was. What is the bigger picture? So that got me into a whirlwind of, studying the occult, extraterrestrials, Egypt, um, Gnosticism, a little bit of Islam, um, quantum physics, near-death experiences, astral projection, dreaming. I mean, really, you name it, and I studied the shit out of it. Day and night, day and night, day and night. I would read. I spent most of my days in Barnes and Noble, just reading books, buying books, reading books. Um, and basically through the process of learning a lot about philosophy and social conditioning and life, I had come to the conclusion that holy shit. And to name another person, people like David Icke, they talk about the fact of we are literally slaves. We are literally slaves, and we were raised, books like The Four Agreements. I talked about this in a video I made like a year and a half ago. The Four Agreements talks about you were born into this world with unlimited potential as a baby, with a bright smile on your face as a baby, and you were born into this world of attachments, fear, anxiety, separation, duality, and it really got me thinking. And once again, it kind of put me in this state of a little bit of depression, because I believe the truth shall set you free, but at first it will make you angry. So I was angry at the system. I was angry at myself for being caught up in the system of religion. So I kind of projected that onto religion and people who studied religion and people who were following that type of thing. Really not because of them, but because I was angry at myself. I was angry at myself for following such things, and I was angry at myself for being manipulated, and I felt like, man, how could you have let yourself get caught up in that shit,